Hello, my name is Catherine and I'm currently editing this video, and I just wanted to make a quick intro before diving into this extremely long video. Now it is super long, however it is packed full of very helpful tips and very useful information. So if you are reapplying for Outschool, or if this is your first time applying for Outschool, watch this whole video from start to finish. It's a lot of great tips and you will greatly benefit from it. Now, if you've already watched this video and you just wanted to, brush up on question 2 or something, I have timestamps for each question down in my description and in the first comment under this video. I have it pinned for you. Now, personally myself, I think by watching this video, really taking your time on your application, I think you'll pass the first time you submit your application at Outschool. However, just in case that is not the case, I would copy all the answers that you put for your Outschool application and save them in a Word doc, save them on Google Docs, save them somewhere just in case you have to reapply. A lot of people have to reapply, a lot of people don't get in the very first time. So if unfortunately that is the case for you, you already have something to go off of and you can just edit and pivot from there. So again, real quick before starting this extremely long video, I'm sorry it's long, but I promise it's worth it. It's a ton of information in it. So if this is your first time watching it, watch the entire thing from start to finish. If you've already watched it in whole, I have timestamps in the description and the first comment that's pinned where you can just jump around to whatever you need. And thirdly, copy all your answers to the application questions before submitting it to Outschool, just so you can go back and change them in case you have to reapply. Again, hopefully that's not the case, but just in case. So without further ado, here's the start of this extremely long video that I promise is worth it. So thanks. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Catherine, and today's video I'm going to be walking you through the application process for Outschool as of July 14th, 2020. This is the current information, this is the current application process. I literally just filmed this video and posted it last week, but that was the old one because the next day they totally changed it on me. That's okay because I wanted to redo it anyway. So here we are. The old version and the new version of the application process are very similar. They are very much the same. Just the new one has a couple more questions, but they're very on point. You could probably figure it out. But I wanted to make a video about it anyway. So also just disclaimer, if you hear that noise, this chair is very squeaky, so keep that in mind. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the requirements for Outschool. In case you don't know, you must be 18 and you must be a citizen of the US, Canada, UK, Australia, or New Zealand. I have it memorized now. You have those two requirements, you qualify to teach for Outschool. I know, it's crazy. You don't need a degree, you don't need any sort of teaching qualifications, you don't even need experience per se, like professional experience. I don't have professional experience. So a lot of people can do this and it's such a great opportunity. Now if you'd like to apply to Outschool, my referral link is in the description of this video. It's also on my website, catherinedavis.com. I really appreciate it when people use my referral code. Outschool pays teachers to refer other teachers, so it really truly helps me a ton. Using my code truly means the world to me. You have no idea how appreciative I am, and it just supports me and it really helps me out. So if you apply to Outschool and you like to use my code, you are just a little angel muffin and I would love to help you through the process. So you can email me for personalized help, or I have a whole website, like I said earlier, catherinedavis.com, that you can go to, and I have step-by-step application process, how to go through it. And if you've already started the application process but would like my help and would like to add me as your referrer, you can email Outschool. I'll post these directions in the description box if that is applicable to you, but again, using my code, adding me as a referrer helps me so much, or anyone who you want to add as a referrer. Like seriously, it blesses us so much and we are truly grateful. Anyway, I wanted to explain that real quick, go over that real quick before diving into the application process. So let's go to my computer and I want to go over 2 documents I think that you should look at before applying. These are so helpful. I don't know if they had them at the time when I was applying, but they have them now, so take advantage. Because I mean, I don't work for Outschool. I just teach on Outschool. So these are the people who actually hire people. These are the people who go through all the applications and they're telling you from their mouth what they are looking for. So let's take a look at the first document. It's called Becoming an Outschool Teacher. So it goes over the requirements, which, like I said, 18 years of age, live in the United States or all these other countries. Just read over that in your own time. We don't have time for that today. I just wanted to show you this article so that you can look over it and just get even more prepared. Also, side note, you have to watch some training videos before applying, I think. That's what one of my referrals told me, so those are super, super helpful. That wasn't a requirement for when I was applying, but I did watch them anyway just because I wanted to know what Outschool is about, what I had to do, all that fun stuff. So even though they're required, they're extremely helpful. And also Outschool keeps everything very short and concise, which is what I love about them and all their training stuff, because ain't nobody got time for orientation day, right? Get to the effing point. And they do, and I appreciate that. So definitely watch the training videos. I don't know where they are, but you'll see them. I just filmed this video, but I just found where you can watch the Outschool application videos. It's right here, step 1, learn about Outschool. It's right before you fill in all your info, and it says take Outschool 101. It's literally 5 minutes, and it is so, so helpful. And you can always click on teacher guide. Oh, and that's where you see becoming an Outschool teacher. Very cool. Oh, and this is where you can find creating a great teacher application. Look at that, those 2 articles are right there. So important, so helpful. So I say definitely look over all this. Try and use someone's referral link. It really helps people out, like myself or other Outschool teachers. So yes, this is called Becoming a Teacher on Outschool. The other one, and the super important one I wanted to point out, was creating a great teacher application. This one is gold, okay? If you do nothing else with this information, go read this article, okay? Creating a great teacher application. Welcome. Just a little nice little welcome. Hello, hello. And then review process. So they're looking for teachers who have experience, they're experts in their field, or have knowledge and passion to share, bring creative and original ideas to class, have excellent written communication skills, are ready to provide stellar customer service to Outschool families, are full-time residents of US, UK, all those other countries. Once your application has been received, you can expect to hear back from us within a few days. It usually takes about 4 to 10 business days to hear back from Outschool. They do get a lot of applications. They do have to read a lot. If your application is declined, you are able to reapply at any time. That is also huge. A lot of people get declined. These are distracting. We're just gonna deal with the headache. A lot of people do get declined. I've had quite a few referrals go through and they get declined. And what I have to say to that is don't give up. This is such a great opportunity and it's so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. If you do get declined, I think it's so worth it to reapply. And I don't say that about a lot of things. But I truly love Outschool. Like, it's helped me in so many ways, and I know it will help you in so many ways. I'm coming out with a video about reapplying, like if you have to reapply if your application got declined. So keep an eye out for that. So I'm not going to go into all that right now, but we're going to try and get it right the first time. But say you did get declined, try and try again. I think it's so, so worth it. And they're really nice, and they let you try again. Without using a different email or something like that. So that's really cool. So general tips, you know, check your spelling and grammar, provide detailed information. This one is huge. So big. Provide as much information as you can. So it might take an afternoon to do this application. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. And what helps me get through things when I don't want to do them, like redoing this video. I'm just kidding. What helps me push through things that I absolutely don't want to do is I just remind myself, you only have to do this once. You only have to do it once. And that may not be the case for you if you're reapplying, but for the most part, you only have to do this once. So you only have to sit down for an hour or two and write out this application. And then you're done. And then you submit it, and then you become a teacher, and then you make your classes and you make your money. It's beautiful. Do take the time to go into detail, you know, explain what your passions are, explain what your experience is, you know, what your degree is. Maybe people don't know what you do. Maybe you have a very rare thing that not a lot of people know about. Or even if they do, they may not know a lot about it. Like, I have a lot of experience teaching for a VIP Kid, and a lot of people don't know what VIP Kid is. So I would sit down and write, I worked for VIP Kid as an English teacher teaching English to Chinese students online. The ages were blah, 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 and give like a lot of detail, because the person who gets your application may not know what VIP Kid is, or how you even teach online. Maybe they only know about Outschool. You don't know, so provide a lot of information. A lot of people have sent me their application questions, and like they'll literally just say, I was a tutor. Okay, cool, so was I. But for where? What years? How long? What did you teach? What did you tutor on? What were the ages? How did you, go into detail? So important, because Outschool is not desperate for teachers. They want quality teachers. Yes, they are always hiring, but they want quality over quantity. So if you can't, explain your expertise or what you're passionate about, or, go into any detail on this application, they won't want you. Because that just tells them right there, well, if they're not going to put that much effort into their application, they're not going to put that much effort into customer service with parents, because that's part of the job. They're not going to put any effort into making the classes. That's a part of the job. So it's not hard, it's just put a little effort into it. Just a little more than a sentence. I'll show you some samples in a minute. But yes, get creative. You want your application to stand out, and original class ideas. Consider you market your ideas to your families and stuff like that. And that's going to come in question 3 when we go over classes and what classes you want to teach. Don't forget the video. The video is super important. I'm going to have a whole separate video on this, since I've already been sitting here for 15 minutes talking and I haven't even dove into the questions. Haven't even dive in, I don't know. There will be an update on the application video coming to you soon. But for now, let's just focus on the written part. Sample applications. Now this, my friends, is gold. This is, oh my gosh, I saw this and I about fainted. I was like, this is perfect. I will show you mine first. So this is an application I made for my mom, so I can show you what the application looks like. And I spent a good 45 minutes to an hour writing on this and making sure it looked nice, and yeah, I didn't do the rest. So again, it might take a couple hours, but it's worth to put the effort in and to make sure it sounds nice, so that you only have to do this once. You don't have to reapply. I promise, again, it's worth it. I'll stop saying that now. So, question 1, please list all the experience you have teaching or working with youth, whether as a professional, a volunteer, or in your personal life. Our teachers come from a variety of professional backgrounds. Share anything you think we should know. Be specific with how long you've worked with youth, the subjects you've taught, and the ages of learners you've worked with. So, I did that in all of this, so you're welcome to pause and read all of it. I will not bore you with that. I'm just going to point out some things real quick. Starting with, you don't need to be a professional teacher. I'm not a professional teacher. I was an accountant. Yes, an accountant. I'm no longer an accountant. I didn't like it. And I've never been a professional teacher. But what's the first sentence? I've been a teacher for over 8 years. Yes, and that is true. I've taught swim lessons. I worked at VIP Kid for the past 2 years. I have, what else have I done? I did volunteer at the YWCA. This, I think, is one of the most important. I mean, the whole application is very important since it's very short. Go into as much detail as possible. This is an elevator pitch. This is what gets you in the door. They want to know you've had experience working with youth before. They want to know that you've taught in some sort of way. That could be babysitting, that could be nannying, that could be you did a church camp or something 7 years ago, and that was a weekend. It counts, you say. In 2013, I taught at XXX camp and we love Jesus. All that stuff. Go into detail on that. Or, you worked part-time as a gymnastics teacher in high school. From the years of 2010 to 2014, I was a gym teacher. I taught the kids how to cartwheel and do this and that and this and that and this. Do you understand? Elaborate, explain, go into detail. They really want to know that you've worked with kids before in some sort of educational setting, or not educational per se, it doesn't have to be a school, but they just want to know that you have experience working with kids before, and they want to know what you did, how you taught, all that stuff. And this is the place to put it. This is also important because, like they said on creating a great teacher application, let's go back to this. Remember, they're not always familiar with all the organizations or degrees, so they want to know what it's about. And everyone has teaching experience. Every single person has teaching experience. So if you're intimidated by my application or the sample application or something, don't be, because you have experience too. You just have to think about it. Think about it. Have you taught your nieces and nephews something? Did you do some sort of volunteer work in high school? This YWCA thing is from high school. It counts. And be sure to put the ages you taught, all that fun stuff. So again, I'm not going to read through this. Just pause the video if you'd like to read my application, but let's go see what they said. So sample applications for question 1. See, I love how they put all this. A lot of the applications that people send me to look over before they submit look like the okay version or the needs work version. Add detail. So definitely look at this. Make it great. Make it great as possible. Make it as great as you can. Add as much information as you can. I cannot stress that enough, clearly. I think that's enough on that. Let's go to the second one. So as you see, I stopped answering. So please list any academic degrees, teaching credentials, current or expired. That's important. So if you have one that is expired, it counts. Put it in there. Professional training or other relevant professional certifications you hold. We do not require degrees. On Outschool, include anything that will help us learn more about your background. So for me, literally all I put in my first application was like this. My favorite. I don't even think I put this first part. I think I just put I went to the University of Alabama and graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2016 in accounting. And I hold a TESOL certification from teaching online. So honestly, this would be an okay version. It's not great. I wouldn't say it needs work, but it's not in depth. So let's go with what they said. Their example is this. Look at this, great. See? I received my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, blah, 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 blah. Lots of great hands-on experience, confident using tools and factory work. I've continued to work in the field for the last 16 years. That's awesome. See, this is just the point. Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering, Ohio State University, 2004. My brother's a mechanical engineer, and I couldn't even tell you what mechanical engineers do. So, yeah. This is why they say explain. Explain. Because even though you know it, and I'm sure everyone in your circle knows what you do, knows what's up, you know, you all probably graduated together. The people hiring for Outschool did not. So explain. Explain what you do. Explain what mechanical engineering is. Explain what you've had work with. Explain what? Explain your experience. It goes a long, long way. Because again, not only does it show Outschool what kind of teacher you are, or you know, what your experience is, what you might, because again, you can teach anything, but they want to see where your expertise is. So this really helps them gauge where your expertise is, what you're good at, what classes or subjects you could teach on. But it also shows that you have great communication skills and that you can elaborate on your classes, you can get back to parents, you have great communication skills. That's another huge factor of this. So again, it's worth taking the time to go into detail on this. Take an afternoon and just dedicate it. And remember, you only have to do this once. Also, they have this optional thing. If you have a professional website, Facebook page, LinkedIn profile that describes your experience or expertise, share it with us. So that's totally optional. Personally, myself, I wouldn't. And I'm just speaking for me, just because my Facebook's a personal Facebook page. As you know, I have a Facebook page that, you know, people can like, but I wouldn't put it on my application. It doesn't pertain to anything I want to do. I might add I would consider adding my YouTube, just because I could teach how to edit or, you know, things I do on YouTube. But right now my YouTube is like basically Outschool, so it would be weird to send that in. But, you know, LinkedIn might help. You know, I wouldn't put your Instagram unless it's professional Instagram. It's 1000% up to you, or maybe you can include a professional website. Say you own like a business and you want to share that. It's 1000% up to you. Me personally, I wouldn't. I would totally skip this step. I would not share any of that because I don't want to. Especially since I went into all this detail, I would pump my second question up a little bit more and I would totally just X that. Again, it's optional. I don't think it's a big deciding factor. Does it say anything? Nope, it doesn't really talk about it as far as I see. So anyway, that's my stance on that question. But if you want to, if you think it will help you, if it shows your professional side, go ahead and add it. See what happens. I doubt they would X you because of that. And again, if they do, you just try again. Try again. So, step 3, the final step, the final frontier. Is that Star Trek? I don't know, I hate Star Trek. Question 3. Outschool teachers create their own classes. So what topics are you passionate about teaching? Which ages of learners do you want to work with? What experience or expertise do you have in these subjects? They say it's fine to share high-level topics here. No need to have the perfect class title. And then if you need help coming up with ideas, they have a recent topic request here. Also gold. So let's click on that. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. And yes, so this is, they update this. And I know this because I've looked at this application multiple times now. But they do update this. This is the most recent version of the class requests from students and parents. So I actually was just looking at this before I started to film, and I already have a couple ideas of classes that I want to do personally myself. So that's really cool that they share that with, you know, applicants who haven't yet started the process. But yes, by the way, I'll have all 3 of these articles in my descriptions for you to check out because they're extremely helpful. But you can just look at this list if you want ideas, if you're like, I have no idea what I want to teach. You're totally welcome to look at this. It's great. But I will say, I watched Angela Silva's video. She was declined from Outschool twice before finally getting accepted, and she was a VIP kid teacher for a long time, and I'm sure she's done other stuff, but that just goes to show you, not everyone gets accepted on the first time. Try again, because she got accepted on her 3rd time. But I watched her video, and she said one of the biggest things that Outschool wants to see is alignment. They want it all to kind of make sense. They want it all to line up. They do look for alignment. They want you to have expertise in any class that you are going to teach. So for example, on my application, you know, I think I touched maybe in my background about my being a makeup artist in my prior years, but in my class one, you know, it was more elaborate than this, but I basically said, you know, I love makeup. It is such a passion of mine besides teaching. I would love to teach it on this platform, and I've been a makeup artist for the past 6 or 7 years, and I would love to share what I've learned with my students. Something about outer beauty and inner beauty, accentuating your features and your confidence. I went something along that route. Again, it was much more eloquently stated than that blunt little word vomit, but that's basically what I put for this, and this part wasn't here, but then I would just talk about a class about makeup. So, but anyway, let's go to their example. So I believe this person, I want to say that this is the same person, all with alignment. No, they're all different, but anyway, they say I want to teach on baking and cake decoration, all this other fun stuff. Though I don't have any formal education, I have always loved to cook. I started baking classes and pastries for family and friends when I was as young as 8. Now I run a small-scale bakery business. See my personal website linked above for more information about my pastry business and cake decoration portfolio. So that'd be a great example of when to, you know, link something, one of your social medias or your professional business sites. But just like she said, she doesn't have any formal education, but she was self-taught. She's always loved it. She clearly has a passion for it. And now she has this business. Now, do you need a business even though you don't have any expertise or background? No. But definitely explain why you are quote-unquote qualified to teach a class. Because again, you don't need any qualifications to teach a class. Like, I teach a class on Harry Potter. I didn't get a degree from Hogwarts. You just want to explain your background, your expertise, why you are qualified to teach the class you want to teach. Also, don't say things that you think Outschool will like. I surprisingly get a lot of people saying that they'd love to teach a puberty class, and to each their own. I don't know. That sounds terrible to me. The absolute last thing in this world I would like to teach is puberty to a girl or a boy. It sounds, oh my god, terrible. And maybe do people have a passion for helping young adults blossom into new adults, but I doubt that many people have a passion for it. That's just me being skeptical. Definitely talk on passions that you are passionate about, because that is going to translate in your application. They're going to see, oh, because I mean, you know, you're gonna go into detail, like we talked about multiple times, and explain this. We're not gonna have an okay or needs work kind of class explanation. We're gonna have like this kind of explanation, okay? And I'm sure you can talk a lot about your passion. Again, I talked about makeup for a good 2-3 paragraphs, honestly, which you don't need to do that. It just, they weren't very long paragraphs, but you know, just 1 paragraph is fine. You don't need to have a ton. You can just do, you know, 1 or 2 things that you want to talk about. But again, just explain what your background or expertise is on that. And don't try to suck up. Don't say, I would love to teach the workings of Shakespeare, and you hate Shakespeare in English. It doesn't make sense. Don't do it. This isn't, you can literally do anything. Don't limit yourself. Question 4. So now that you've told us what you want to teach, let us know what your class will look like. So you will need to write a class description. You should write this description as though it is for prospective families. Again, they want to see your communication skills. They want to see how you would write it out. You represent them and they want you to be quality. They're not looking for quantity, they're looking for quality. Passionate teachers. Your passion translates in your application, which means it will translate in the classes that you offer, the classes you teach, which means that you'll be happy and excited to teach the classes because it's on what you're passionate about. Students see that, parents see that, they get excited, they get passionate about it too, and then everyone wins. You get students sign up and 5-star reviews. Outschool looks great. It's a win-win-win situation if you watch The Office. I watched that conflict resolution episode yesterday. Okay. So again, lots of detail, happy thoughts. Include information about what you will teach and how you will teach it and what learners should expect from this class. This field is only for our team and it will not be published on the site. So this is just, you know, what they say. So I don't like the suggestion here, honestly. For your first class and just to write on the application, I would do a one-time class, which means it is just 1 paragraph pretty much. Just explains what you're gonna do, how you're gonna teach, and answers those types of questions. This is they gave like a multi-class suggestion. So let's check out, which is great. I haven't even taught a multi-class yet. That's a lot of work. So we are going to ignore that because for your first class, you're gonna do a one-time class. You can add multi-day later, you can do all that other stuff. I actually have a whole video on how to make a class on Outschool for a one-time class. So let's look at class listings for new teachers. This is perfect. So they go over all the different types of classes and then they give you examples. So this is a semester class, which you have to put a lot of info for a semester class because students pay a lot, so they want to know what is up. What are you going to teach every week? What are you doing? You're charging a lot of money for those. Same with flexible classes. One-time class, yes, there's also short-time classes, ongoing class, but let's just look at one-time class for the sake of us. So one-time classes are great ways for teachers to get started on Outschool because these classes only meet once. The description can be much sparser than that of a longer class, but you still want to make clear what students will learn, how they will learn it, and if they must bring any materials to class. So read over this. I'm not going to read it for you. Pause the video now if you'd like to read it. In this, she went over exactly what they're going to do. They're going to make chocolate chip cookies. We will discuss the ingredients, how to measure them, what role the different ingredients play, and finally how to safely use the oven to bake the cookies. This class will not just be about learning how to bake, but students will also learn math and science concepts as they do so. Every class has a learning objective. So a lot of classes sound fun, and they are fun, but there is a meaning behind it. For example, a lot of people are like, what's your office class about? Why do you have a Harry Potter class? Why would people pay money for it? They pay money for it, A, because it's super fun and their kids are obsessed with the Office or Harry Potter. B, it's my learning objective for that class is to gain public speaking skills, gain confidence talking in front of a room. It's a virtual room, but still try and add that, just like kind of a goal, especially if it's something like, you know, baking cookies or, you know, something. It's important to have a learning objective. So, and then as a teacher, I will guide the students through the process of preparing the dough and baking the cookies through modeling, describing what I'm doing in the material section below. Find everything you need for this class. So again, this is an example. So go ahead and list any materials your students might need, like pens, papers, in your application. And also I would add, let me go back here. I would add teaching style and philosophy. So I think this is also super important because Outschool wants to know how you teach, what's your style, what's your philosophy on teaching. For example, mine, learning should be fun and interactive and engaging, so that's how I like to have my classes. So I make sure my classes are interactive, engaging, and super fun. That way the information sticks longer and students have a lot of fun learning. That's kind of what I put. So you can put something similar to that. You can put, you know, you might have a better idea. Put whatever you want, but I would definitely add that. Yeah, I would add that in your class. So you could say like at the beginning of this, I would say something like, I like to make classes fun and engaging, and I'm so excited to teach this class about baking cookies while also learning the science concepts and math behind it. Something like that. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But I think that just adds a little extra oomph to what you're trying to do. And remember, we're all about that because, like I said before, Outschool is not looking for quantity, they're looking for quality. So the more info, the better, the better. So that's what I would do. And again, add the materials, like say, you know, in this class you'll need a pen and paper for the quiz. We're doing a character quiz, or we're doing trivia, or we're playing a game and you need this, this, and this, something like that. Be creative, but yes, definitely check out the sample class listing. It's within creating a great teacher application. Under question 4, sample class listing. That's really awesome. And this is, again, you can do this if you want, you know, you can do a multi-class for if you want to type out a multi-class for your application. I would not. That's a lot of thinking and a lot of typing for a class that does not exist at the moment. So I definitely would not do that. So yes, and then after that you do an application video, and I'm gonna have a whole separate video about the application video, but basically you're just reiterating what you already typed out. The hard part is this, and it's only 5 questions and they kind of overlap. So I'm gonna sound like Shia LaBeouf real quick. If you're on the fence, if you're like, I don't know, should I do it? I'm scared. Get over it. Sorry I yelled. No, I understand where you're coming from, but you're only gonna think about it more. You're only going to sit on it longer. You're only going to, you know, waste precious time that you could be filling out this application with thinking about, should I do it? Would I add value? Would I be a good teacher? You probably will be, honestly. Everyone can be a teacher. But yeah, if you leave this video with nothing else, I hope you remember these 2 things. Well, remember a lot of this stuff if you're actually applying, but if you're on the fence, remember these 2 things. You only have to do it once. Just take an afternoon, get it over with. Quality over quantity. Just turn it in. Be done. And 2, nothing comes from just thinking about it. You have to do things to know if you're good at them, right? I can't just sit and be like, I wonder if I'm a good knitter. Will I ever be a good knitter? And then never knit, because that will never answer my question. I have to go find some knitting needles, find some yarn, and knit. And then I'm like, oh, I am good at knitting. Or, I'm not that great at knitting, but I'm gonna keep trying. Do you understand? I might make a whole video on that probably, but I just wanted to mention that in this video. If you're nervous about the application process, don't. They really lay it all out for you. I went into a lot of detail on it right here, and like I said before, if you use my application link, which is in the bio or the description, I always call it a bio, it's in the description. Again, I'm super appreciative. It supports me, it helps me a lot, and in return I like to help my referrals get through the process and become an Outschool teacher too, because I cannot tell you how great of an opportunity it is and how much it has blessed me personally. So I know I'll help you, and I say keep trying. But yes, you will never know if you're a good teacher or can offer value or, you know, can have fun teaching online. Maybe it isn't for you, but if you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, maybe it is, maybe it's not, just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf says in that video, do it. Just get it over with. Take an afternoon, get it over with. You only have to do it once, and yes. After you submitted your application, like I said before, it takes 4 to 10 business days for Outschool to get back to you. Say, hey, you passed. No, you didn't. And if you didn't, like I said before, just reapply. It's not a big deal at all. They clearly are aware of that. They don't care. They want to see you try again. And honestly, probably looks better in your favor. So, don't mention that you're trying again. Don't say, hey, this is my 4th time reapplying. It's probably a different person, worthless information. Again, if you'd like to apply to Outschool, my affiliate link is in the description. And if you've already applied but would like my help or would like to add me as a referral, that means so much to me. It truly, truly helps me a lot. I have those instructions below as well. You have to email Outschool, tell them I referred you, and give them my email, katherinedavis1126@gmail.com, to them, and then, yeah. Anyway, it'll be in the description, but I hope this was helpful. I know you'll be a great teacher, and I know you will pass the first time, and if not, you'll pass the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, or 5th time, however many times it takes. Again, it's worth it. So, anyway, thank you again so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!